Good morning. I started on a little project to make what I know as a Starlyte stove. It's basically a open flame alcohol stove where the fuel wicks up through the fiberglass cloth. And so this is what I came up with, and this is how I made it. Okay, so this will be my first effort building a Starlyte stove. So as far as materials go, we're going to use this little tin with a screw-on lid. We will be using some fiberglass cloth to cover it. You're using some pink insulation for the inside of it. And we'll be using a little bit of contractor fabric for holding everything together inside of there. Okay, as far as the tools we'll need, this also is very simple. We're going to use some cutters and a pin. I think that's the only tools we're going to need. If we need anything else, we will be getting it halfway through. Okay, so to start with, we're going to cut our fabric that's going to go onto this tin. And I want it to be about twice as big, so it'll go all the way around. So that looks like a good piece right there. So I'm just going to cut that out. And then I'm going to round it just slightly. Take off some of those loose edges. Okay, that's probably good enough right there. Try to contain all of those little pieces in there. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to need is to cut our contractor fabric to the right size. So I'm just going to put it here so I can cut this. And I'm going to use just a little piece of paper towel so I don't mark up my cloth. Okay. So now, as far as cutting that out, I'm pretty much just going to follow that line as best I can see it. Hope that I get enough coverage to actually hold that in place. Let's see how that looks. Looks a little big, so now we'll just trim that up a little bit. I think I actually want to leave some of this area so that I'm getting those little fins out there. Okay, I want that just a little big, so I'm going to go with it just like that. We'll see if it works or not. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do now is create the packet to put inside of here. I'm going to mess with this as little as possible. I like this to lay somewhat flat when I get it done. Pull out a little bit of this fabric here. I'm going to try this again. There, I like that a little better. Now, by taking this and seeing if I can gently work it in. Like that. Okay. I'm going to call that good, and should be ready to test it. So I hope you find that useful. Of course, the problem with making a stove like this is that they're very addictive. And the next thing you know, you've made many of them. So I ordered online a bunch of these little canisters. Started with this little one, and I like these screw tops because I wanted to see how they would hold the alcohol in them. And I think with a bead of silicone or something like that, they're going to work very well. And so the screw tops came in the short version, and then just the push tops came in the slightly taller versions. And I ended up making more than I needed, but it was a fun little project. Of course, as I started looking at all these stoves, I realized that I don't always want to have boil and bag meals. Sometimes I might want something else. So I ended up making this hot dog cooker as well. Oh well, it was a fun diversion for a little bit of time. Oh yeah, I also installed the clapper. That should be very useful on the trail.